Hi friends! So today what I'm going to teach you how to do is I'm going to teach you how to draw three-dimensional block letters. I'm going to teach you to draw the entire alphabet. I will be using markers today. If you don't want to use markers, that's fine. You can use pencils or crayons or whatever you have to practice with. Also, if you feel more comfortable using a ruler, then I encourage you to do so. So go ahead and get your supplies ready, and I'm going to teach you how to draw some three-dimensional block letters with me.
Alrighty friends, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to teach you how to be able to draw block letters like this. So we're going to get started with the letter A. And we're going to do the entire alphabet, so go ahead and get your pencil ready. And I'm going to teach you how to do the letter A here. So we want it to fit on our paper, and remember this is just practice, so nothing that we do today do you have to keep forever, it's just practice. So we're going to do our A, and go ahead and follow along with me. Then we're going to do two horizontal lines, one going inside, two going inside. Then I'm going to go up, and make sure you're going at the same angle that you went, but I don't go all the way up. Same thing over here, I'm going to go up, same angle as that line, and then I'm going to connect right in here. Now I'm going to do a little triangle right above this. Alright, so we did our letter A where it has thickness throughout, and now I'm going to do a diagonal back, diagonal back, diagonal back, and right here in this corner I'm going in the same angle as all of my other ones. Now I'm going to connect. I'm going to go down the same angle here. Now if you have a little space in there, that's okay. Connect it. I'm going to do the same angle here. Go up. This one is done. Alright, let's do the letter B. So I'm going to go down. I'm doing these rather big, so you can practice however you want. I'm going to do a big letter B, go in, and I'm going to go in right here, connect. Now I'm going to do inside of this. So I've got the letter B, but I'm going to give it thickness. I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down in the same line. Now I'm going to do two curves, one, two. Alright, pretty simple. Now we're going to be doing the angles, and all of my letters are going to be pointing that way, so it's like we're looking at the right side of these. So I'm going to do a line that goes from that point out, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a line that goes out like this. Another line out like this, another line out. Now, depending on how wide you have this, that's fine, you can do that. I'm going to do here. Now I'm going to go around, curving with my curves for my B. Same thing here, curve down. Now here, I'm going to go straight up because I'm lined up with that one, and kind of curve it with there. I'm curving with this line. All right, I'm going to go up again, curving with this line. B is done. Now we're going to do C. So C, it can be a little bit tricky because we have all these curves. We don't really have a whole lot of straight lines. So I'm going to curve up and around. Now, instead of just leaving it like that, we're going to go in, in. I'm going to curve around, and I want to keep it the same thickness the whole time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a line that goes back, back. I'm going to go over here. Okay, now here's where it's going to get a little tricky with C. I'm going to connect right here. That one's pretty simple. But now, I'm going to be bringing this in right here. I was going to be bringing it, it's going to be curving back, and now it's curving into the letter C. Now, I'm actually going to go right in here where it starts to curve down. It's going to start real skinny, and it's going to get wider as it goes down, and then it's going to curve up. Alright, now same thing that we did down here. We're going to do that where it's going to curve up. It's going to get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until it blends right in with that. So there's my letter C. Okay, now we've got D. I'm going to do a line down, curve around, and connect. Now I'm going to give the thickness, I'm going to go down, and that width right there, I want to keep that width. Go back around so I can do a little letter D inside there. Now I'm going to do a line that goes this way, and very similar to how, we did the letter D, or the letter C. I was going to curve down and into there. And then I'm going to go up, inside, and then this way. Alright, there's the letter D. Let's do the letter E. Alright, the letter E has a lot of these little boxes. Okay, has a lot of these little boxes. So let's do a line that goes down, line to the right. You want these two lines to be the same length. I'm going to go down, in. Now I don't go all the way in, I leave that space. I'm going to go down, I'm going to go out again. I'm not going to make this line as long. I'm going to go a little bit shorter. In, down, out. I'm going to line it right up with that one. Okay, like I said, this one has a lot of angles. So all of my angles, I'm going to start up every single corner that I can, including these inside ones. They're all going the same angle. Okay, all of these angles right here. Now, I'm going to start to connect. Fill in these little boxes. Go out, connect. Go down. And I'm looking at these right here. I'm going to go up, out, down, down, out, connect. Alright, now let's go ahead and do the letter F. Really, really similar to the letter E. We're just missing that one down there. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to go out, down, in. Now I don't want to go all the way in. I'm going to go down, out, not as far. Down, in, and then all the way down, and then connect. Now, it's very similar, like I said. We're going to do all the angles for all the corners for all the angles. So I'm going out on that same angle for all of those. So now let's start to connect these guys. And I'm going to go down. And this one is little, but that's okay. You might have room in there. I'm going back up. Alright, the letter F. Alright, the letter G. This one is a little bit complicated, kind of like the letter C, but with a little extra little part right there. So let's do our curve that goes out and around, and I'm going to stop right there. Now I'm going to go in, a little bit, go up. Now, here's where I'm going to add this part right here. This curve right here, instead of going up and out and stuff, I'm going to go in, up, out, further than this one, and now I'm going to go straight down, in, and then it's going to connect with that one right there. Alrighty, now we have to do some of our angles. So we're going to go all at the same angle, like usual, all coming out from the corner. Now this one doesn't have a corner. So I'm going to connect my corners. Similar with the C, I'm going to curve up until it goes right into that. Now, also similar with the C, we have to do this inside angle. So it's going to come down from that line right there, and it's going to curve in until it touches that. Okay, there's the letter G. Let's do the letter H. So I'm going to do my vertical line down, across, across, down, up, leave that space, across, across. Now I'm going to go up to the same line here, down to the same line here, across, across, down. Okay, we've got our letter H. Let's add our angles. So I'm going to all my corners. And we'll figure that one out in a second. Let's see how long we need to make it. All the same angles. Alright. Now let's bring these in. Go across. Oops. Now I'm going to go down from this corner right here. If there's a space right there, go from that across. If you don't have one and it hits that, that's okay. Just don't draw on top of it. Now again, I'm going to go up until it hits that line. We can't see that like we can on that one. There's the letter H. Let's do the letter I. This one's pretty simple. If we can do a box, then we can do the letter I. Going down, across, down, connect. Now let's add our angles. This one should be pretty simple compared to some of ours. We're only doing 3 lines. Going to go across till it connects. And down. Simple. Alright, let's do J. Alrighty. With J, I'm going to do the little inside one first. So I'm going to do my J, going straight up. Now I'm going to go across. And I'm going to keep these same angles, and then we're going to want to keep the same width as it turns. So I'm going to go down. Now as it turns, you want to turn with it. Okay, wanting to keep that same width. And then just connect. Now we've got a few angles to do. We've got these ones all going the same way. And then we're going to connect. Connect. Now, let's add our curves that go down, and this one curves in with that curve. And now this one's going to go down, and as it curves in, it's going to blend right into that one. Alright, there's the letter J. Alright, let's do the letter K. Alright, this one's got a lot of angles too, so be patient on this one, and you might have to practice a few. Alright, so we're going to go down, we're going to go across, we're going to go down. Now over here, I'm going to make that a little bit longer, I'm going to go across, and I'm going to go up. Now, I did not connect this. This one is going to go up at an angle, and I want it to stop pretty much on the same level as this. I'm going to go across, so I've kind of changed the angles there. This one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down, stopping on the same level, across. Now, we're going to bring these lines in. I'm going to go up and in, up and in until they connect. Now we have a lot of angles to work with in here, so let's get started. So I'm going to add my angles here. You might be able to see this one. It depends on what angle you're working with. Go across again from all of these points. You might not even have that angle right there. So let's go ahead and connect, going across, across. This one's going to go down to there, out to there, up. Oops, I forgot this guy. And we're going to go down and pretend like that doesn't exist. Alright, so that's our letter K. Let's do L. L is pretty simple. I'm going to go down and across. Now I'm going to go across, down, across again, and then down. Now, we've got just a few lines to do. 1, 2, 3. That corner is important, friends. Alright, now let's start connecting them. Down, connect, across, and then connect. Now, you might notice me like extending some of these. That's because I didn't make the line long enough, and you want that, okay? If you don't have that, don't worry. You have perfect length when you're drawing these, then good for you. Alright, now we're going to have the letter M. So I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go down, up again, down. Alright, then I'm going to go in, I'm going to go up, I'm leaving a space, I'm not touching. I'm going across, up, I'll go down, and then up. Again, filling up those spaces. It's okay if some of these aren't perfect either. So now I'm going to add my angles from this point. Alright, and this one going in, I have a little tiny space in there. Now this line's going to go down until I hit there. This one's going to connect here, and then this one's going to go up until it hits. There's the letter M. Alrighty, here is the letter N. Alright, this one, don't let this trick you. Okay, you're going to have a long line, and it's not going to go all the way down, and it's going to be the same. So we can't just draw the letter N and have it line up. You have to really look at this. You might mess up on this one the first time. I know, I certainly did when I started learning how to draw these letters. So I'm going to go up. Now this line, don't get ahead of yourself. Go down at your angle, but look, you're not going to go to the same level here. And then I'm going to go back up, straight up. Okay, so this is that part right there. We need to leave the room here. So I'm going to go across, I'm going to go up. Again, I'm not bringing it all the way in. I'm going to go down at that angle. Now I'm going to go across. See where we're going here? We're going to go straight up. Oops, a little too far there. And then I'm going to connect. So sometimes you can add the little line across there, kind of just depends on what you're doing, but for this one today, we're going to just add the line here on all our angles. And this one, I only have a little space. You might have a bigger space where you have to go back up again, and that's alright. Now I'm going to go down until I hit that line. I'm going to go across, back down, and then we already did that. So there's the letter N, and like I said, don't let that little spot right there trick you, because you want to go all the way up and then all the way back down, but you have to stop beforehand. Okay, here's the letter O. So you'd think this would be pretty simple, but at these angles you have to try and match these curves. So let's do a big O. Yours might be more round, or it might be more long, and that's okay. Or you might have a hard time drawing that circle, that's okay. And then we're going to do a little O inside of it. Alright, now, what you're going to do is go right here, and you're going to do like almost like a letter C inside of this, but you have to stop. Okay, it's like you did a little tiny one in there. Now, do the same thing up here. We're going to go out and wider, and then you got to go back in when you hit the bottom part of that. There's our O. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on the letter P. Okie dokies. So now I'm going to do my line that goes down. And then from right here I'm going to go out and around and stop right about there. Now you're going to do your straight line down, across. Now what you want to do is you want to line up this next one with this line. So I'm going to go draw a line straight up from there. I'm going to do my curve that goes out and in, keeping that same width best I can, coming from there. Now you're going to want to add your lines going out. We don't really have a corner there. That's okay. I do have one here and here. This one's easy. It goes straight up until it hits right there. And then this one curves out and around and down until it hits right in there. Inside of here, depending on how big this space is. If your space is really small, you might not be able to make it all the way where you can see the other side. But if you do, you go out and then you kind of curve up with it. Okay, there's the letter P. Letter Q. Letter Q. Alright, one paper, good. So now, this one, Don't let yourself fill in that space where that little tail should be, okay? If you do, make sure you can erase it if you do. Now we can start with the letter O on the inside if you'd like, but I'm going to start with the line that goes out and around. So I know that it's going to start right there. And then I know it's going to go all the way around, and it's going to, that tail's going to come out right there. So I'm going to do a straight line there, a straight line there, then we're going to connect it. Now all I'm going to do is my circle on the inside here, like that. Alright, now the ones with the little lines here are going to be right here. I'm going to do my line that goes out and here. Now these are easy, we can just connect right there. But up here I'm going to start with my curve that comes out from the top until it goes to that corner. Pretty easy. Now I'm going to do my inside curve. It's going to come down from here, going around and in. And that's it for my Q. Let's do our R. Okay, so now, and it's going to be kind of similar to the P. It just has a little tail that comes out. So I'm going to do my straight line down. I'm going to do my curve that goes out and around and stop here. And then I'm going to do my line that goes out at an angle. You want it to be on the same line as this. Now I'm going to do my horizontal line, go straight up, but don't go all the way up. You don't want to meet that space. Now I'm going to do my diagonal line out until I'm on the same line here. And then all I have to do is simply connect right there. Now, similar with the P, I want the line, it's going to come from right there. I'm going to do my vertical line up. I'm going to curve around until I hit here. Alrighty, let's get to the angles of making these box letters. So I'm going to do my angles coming out, out, and then I again have a little space in here. If your space is large, that's okay. Alright, and then I'm going to do that line there. Now I'm going to bring around and then back in right about there. This line is just simply going to go up into that R until it hits right there. And then this line's going to go straight up again. If you just have a line that just goes all the way to this point, that's fine. And then this one kind of curves up with it. There's our letter R. S. This one can be very tricky. And the reason why it's tricky is because sometimes you make your little space right here too big, or this space out here too small. It just kind of depends, and your S, a lot of times, sometimes, you can flip it right over and it looks a lot better. It kind of just depends. But we're going to obviously do it the right way. So, this one, be prepared to mess up the first time, second time, third time. Don't worry. It happens. Okay? The trick is we're going to do a little curve right here inside, and it goes and it flips to the outside line. And you have to make that line bigger. Okay, so it starts out small and then it gets much wider, because then it's easier to go inside and then get bigger on the outside. So just be prepared that this one is trickier than you think. So I'm going to start small, my small curve right like this, okay? And it's going to go out. Now look, I went further than this. This is how drastic it kind of needs to be so that we have similar sizes. So it's like you have the big curve here, and then you have the big curve right there. So it goes big, little, little to big. Now we're going to do the line that goes inside. We're going to go, and we're going to follow these curves, trying to keep the same width. Going up and around, down, until we hit the same spot. Now, bring it in, or connect it. So, if yours didn't turn out, to be properly proportioned the first time, don't worry. Now we're going to add our lines here, and oops, I got a little bit of space right there, and then I got this one right there. Alright, so I've got this line that goes across. Now, this corner is going to go down. And then once it starts to curve up, you curve up until it hits that. Now let's do this one. This one is going to curve, and it's going to go inside right about there at the top. Now this last line is going to come from here, and it's going to end right about there. So it's going to come as soon as it starts to turn down, and then I'm going to keep that width. And then once it starts to turn down underneath it, then I bring it in. And now you have an S. Be prepared to mess up on that one a couple times. I certainly did, learning how to draw a box S. Luckily, T is a lot easier to draw than the letter S. Okay, so we're going to do our line across, down, down, same level. Bring it in, leave your space. Now I'm going to do my line down, down, and connect. Now I'm just simply going to add my angled lines. This one's super easy, just go straight up until it hits. This one again, we're going to go up till it hits. And our last one until we go right there. There's your letter T. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with our U. Alright, let's do a little U. So I'm going down, straight back up, a little U. Now I'm going to do a line that goes out, and then I'm going to do my line that stays with that curve all the way until I reach that space and go up. Or go and connect it. Now I've got a few corners here. I'm going to add my lines. Alright, now I'm going to bring them closed. Okay, this one I'm going to do my line that goes down, and then once it starts to curve down there at the bottom, I bring it in until it touches there. Similar idea here, except for it's the outside, so it's going down, and then it starts to curve in, and so do you. There's your letter U. Let's do our letter V. Alright, we're going to do our little V first, because the bottom part we have a little line there. And so we want to do our little V first. So I'm going to go down, back up. We've got the letter V. Going to go across, across. I'm going to go down, down. Don't bring them in. You're going to connect right down there at the bottom. So you want to keep that width by just going down at that same angle. Now we just simply have to add our angles here. And this one down there. Alright, let's connect. This corner is going to go down again until it hits right there. And go across. I'm going to bring it down until it hits. And there's our letter V. Alright, here's our letter W. Similar to M. You know, if we flip it upside down, we got M on a cool angle right there. So, keep that in mind. W and M are pretty much the same thing. Alright, we're going to do our little W first. So we're going to go down, up, down, up. Now I'm going to go across, across. I'm going to go down, and I'm kind of going kind of far, and then I'm going to go up, down, and I'm going to go all the way down until it connects. Now I'm going to add my angles. I'm going to go there, and this one, there, and that one. Oh, and this one too. Okay. Now I'm going to go across, and then I'm going to go down. I hit there. Again, I'm going to go down until I hit there. Across, and then I'm going to go down until I hit that one, and then I'm going to go whoop, up. And there's my letter W. do our letter X. This one can be a little tricky. So, bear with me because you're not drawing a big X. And so we don't want to cross. We don't want to draw the line there. We don't want to have to erase too much. So I'm going to do a V. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to go across, across. Now I'm going to do my line that goes down until right about there. See where that line is? And it's going to go until it's like on that same angle right there. I'm going to do the same thing here. Right about there. So it's like I'm coming from there and it's going to stop right about there. Now, it's like I'm drawing a skip and then I continue that line here. I draw, skip, continue that line here. Now, I'm going to go across, across, I'm going to go up until right about there, and then up until right about there. So we got our X. Let's add all these lines. Okay, that was a lot. We can't forget to add that line right there. It's important. So I'm going to go across, down, till it hits, across. Now this one is not going to go straight down. It's going to go in until right there. And now it's going to turn and it's going to go out until right there. I'm going to go up, and that's it. Letter X. Alrighty, now we've got the letter Y. We're so close to the end of the alphabet. Alright, we're going to actually do the letter V first for the inside. Alright, so I'm going to do my letter V, go down, back up. Now I'm going to do my line out and out. Now I'm going to go in and in. But now, look, I did not connect it. I'm going to go instead, I'm going to go straight down like this and then connect. Now I just have to add my angles. Again, like the letter X, I have to add that mark right there. So now I'm going to connect. I'm going to go down until it hits that spot right there. Connect. Now I'm going to go down until it hits in here with that spot, and then I'm going to turn and go straight down. Alright, there's my letter Y. Now our last letter, Z. So, Z is super similar to the letter S. We have a little part and a big part. So it's the little and then big. This one, again, can trick you if you are not careful. So I'm going to do a line across, down, look how far this is, and then a line across. Whoop. So, notice that's kind of, it's like it's little and then it's going to be big. So I'm going to go up, across, notice how far I go, down. See, I don't go all the way down. Now I'm going to go across and connect. Okay. Now we're going to add our angles. We're so close to done. My line's going out. Go from this corner. So close. Alright, let's go flat across. Then I'm going to go in. Then I'm going to go out. And then I'm going to go straight down. And there we have it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this, learning how to draw all of our letters. I really think you guys did a great job. And remember, just practice your letters. This takes a lot of time, and please don't give up. Enjoy.